Well, hello, I'm Yael, and today we're going to be talking about the reading program Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. Now, there is a lot of hype around this program because of its effectiveness in being able to teach a lot of children to read in a short amount of time. However, is it really worth the hype? Today, I'm going to share with you my personal experiences with this curriculum, having gone about 95% through it, some pros and cons, what my kid actually thought of the program, and the reason why we're probably not going to use it for any of my other kids. Let's get into it. I'm going to share a brief overview of how I came to use this program because context is important. My child was originally attending kindergarten in a public school last year, but then when everything started to come down the pike, we decided to pull her out and homeschool her for at least first grade. Her reading ability at that time was not where I thought it should be. My philosophy has changed a lot since then. In any case, I did a lot of research and looked at YouTube videos, of course, and I stumbled upon this one video by Akiva Mays that talked about the DISC-STAR method, which this program uses, and how effective it is in getting kids to read. And because I wanted her to get where I thought she should be, I thought this would be the best program. With that said, let me share with you some pros and cons that I have with this program. In terms of teaching a child how to read phonetically, the method does work. When you open up to the first lesson, you'll notice immediately that there are different tasks for the child to do. And all of these different tasks tie in together with the sounds that are being introduced. I appreciated the ways that it introduced different sounds to my child, making it slow, then making it fast, and then playing with words like compound words, doing the same process really helped my child to be able to pick up on the nuances of the sounds of words. You'll notice also that they use arrows and little balls to be able to help the child distinguish each sound. And as you progress through the program, when they do sound blends, those letters are attached and there's one ball underneath that blend to indicate that that is one united sound. I also thought that their approach with rhyming was pretty helpful. So a child will be introduced with a sound and then put that to practice with rhyming by having the teacher or the adult say the rhyming blend, and then the child repeats afterwards, and that was a very helpful way to practice rhyming. They also incorporated dictation into each lesson, which I thought was really helpful for my child because being able to hear a sound and then write it down is a great precursor for being able to spell words. Now, if your child doesn't know how to write their letters yet, they also include a guide on how to help the child formulate their letters. My kid already knew how to write her letters before starting this program, and so we didn't really have to go through that, but I thought that was a helpful thing that they included. Another pro that for me as a beginning homeschooler I really appreciated was the fact that it's scripted. Now, there are different people who feel different ways about this, but again, because I didn't know what I was doing or where to start, it was helpful to see that there was a script for me if I didn't know what to say or how to guide my child. Another interesting and obviously different thing about this program is that it uses a totally different way of spelling words. And they have a pronunciation guide at the beginning that will guide you in how to use this properly as you're going through the program with your child. I will say that in terms of reading the stories that are in the book, it was helpful, but I'm not sure if it's completely necessary. If you are curious about the pronunciation guide or how to use it, I've actually linked below a video of one of the co-authors doing a workshop with adults on how to use the pronunciation guide and introduce all the sounds. It's interesting, but you'll notice that it is from the 80s. Which brings me to the cons. This book is old, and so are the stories, so are the pictures, and they're vastly underrepresented in terms of ethnicities and races, if that's something that you care about. It's certainly something that I care about. And to be frank, some of the stories are just a little weird for my taste. In terms of what I mentioned before with the pronunciation and the different spelling of words, it starts to translate that really late in the book for a child. And so what I was finding was that there were certain combinations of sounds like vowel and consonants that my child was learning and reading pretty fluently in the book. But then when it came to actually encountering these types of phonetic blends in regular books that she wanted to read, she had some difficulties with translating what she learned in this program to the actual book. In some ways, that leads me to believe that this program is a bit exclusive when it comes to what the child should be reading or can be reading and have access to reading while they're going through the program. I do not appreciate the way that they handle sight words. There are some sight words that you can read and learn to read phonetically, but there are others that if you don't introduce it as this is different, it's going to really pose as a potential stumbling block for your child. I don't know, there's different ways, there's different theories on this, but I feel like the most effective way to introduce sight words is just to encounter them in literature and practice them as something that's a little bit different than what the phonetic rules say. So enough about what I think. Let's turn to the kid herself who went through this program with me. So what did you think of this book, of this program that we tried?
I liked it, but I don't like reading too much. And now it's getting like a little bit too harder. And I don't want to read books that I have to read.
What about, did you like the stories that were in this book?
Yeah, I love them. And I can't believe that a man didn't even know that he was talking to a deer or like something he was gonna eat and kill.
Oh boy, interesting. So you like some of the stories then?
I'm getting bored of them.
Why is that? Why are you bored of the stories?
It's because they're getting longer and harder, and they have to take for a while. See, it's getting longer. It can't even fit on one page. So it's longer.
Oh, it's a little bit more tedious. It's not as, is it fun to read or not as fun?
Not as fun as because it's getting harder.
So was it effective in being able to teach my child to read in 100 easy lessons? In some respects, yes. It's effective in some ways for helping a child to decode text. But overall, this is not going to spark curiosity in your child. As you're considering reading curriculum, reading programs for your child, think about your why. Why do we read? What is the purpose of reading? Reading is coming into your own. It's making meaning of the world around you and looking and understanding different stories from different perspectives and lenses. And this is what I want to teach my children. If you're looking to teach your child in that way, this program may not be for you. I hope this video has given you some good insider looks into what this program is all about and whether or not it will truly work for you and your family. I am so happy you were able to join me today, and please be sure to check out some other videos I have right here. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.